Alright guys, welcome to my review of TNA Hardcore Justice 2012, and I thought this was a pretty solid show. I had high expectations going into this one, and it didn't really deliver like I expected it to, but it was still a good all-around pay-per-view, and there was a lot of good stuff on this show. They started off with the Gunnar and Kid Kash versus Chavo and Hernandez match. It was alright, I just didn't care. I mean, it was really hard to care about this one. The wrestling wasn't bad though. Chavo tags Hernandez as he dives on Gunnar. And then Chavo hits the frog splash on Kid Kash for the win. That was it, really. So, RVD comes out for his match. And the next person is Pope. Pope doesn't make it. They do the thing where they play his music, he doesn't come out. And we see the Aces and Eights backstage, of course, and they break his arm or something. I don't know. They're just Aces and Eights, Aces and Eights. And so, I mean, Pope is gone again. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't even know if he wants to wrestle anymore, to be honest with you. I heard something a long time ago, some rumor where he had posted something on Twitter about how he doesn't want to do it. And then he came back and said, oh, he does still want to do it. I don't know, but personally, I don't think Pope cares. I think he's fine being written off. Maybe he had some contract stuff and he was just finishing up. But I really don't think he cares at all. And what is going on in Pope's entrance screen video thing? It's like cars and a girl in a thong or strippers or something. It's kind of weird. It's been so long since I saw it. But Magnus comes out and Mr. Anderson comes out, does his normal thing. And they make it a three-way. So it's Falls Count Anywhere. And this wasn't bad. This was pretty good. RVD wins with a Van Daminator on Magnus on the ramp. He gets 20 points. That puts RVD in second place. But the match was pretty good. They used some chairs and stuff. And at least they did pin... he pinned Magnus somewhere else because it's Falls Count Anywhere. And for a minute, they did go back to the ring, and I was like, it's just going to turn into a regular match. But no, he did pin Magnus, so I like that they used this stip. However, afterwards, Taz says something. What did he say? Taz says RVD got double nipples. Because apparently that's 55. RVD has 55 points. And so Taz says that's 55 for those who don't know about nipples. What? Are you insane, man? Like, what are you even talking about? I have never heard that term in my entire life. 55 is double nipples. It just doesn't make any damn sense. So Borash says security has swept the building and there are no aces. He asked Madison about Earl Hebner. She says she doesn't need help to win titles. They give us a random match that wasn't announced. Kazarian versus Devon for the TV title. Kaz goes for Fade to Black. Devon rolls out and hits the Spinebuster for the win. They gave this a pretty good amount of time though, but you know, it was just kind of added to the card. Then they play this weird-ass video about Madison Rayne and Earl Hebner. I have no idea who thought this was a good idea or who put this together. It's just a bunch of clips of what I believe is Earl Hebner at a house show, dancing around, wearing like Bret Hart-style glasses. And they're playing like this funky porno type music in the background. It was strange. So we get Madison Rayne versus Tessmacher for the Knockouts title. And at least this had some build with Madison and the Earl Hebner stuff. Tessmacher hits an elbow drop. However, Madison gets the ropes. And while Tessmacher is arguing with Hebner, Madison rolls her up and uses the ropes for the win. So we have a new Knockouts champion, Madison Rayne. I know I got that one wrong on my predictions video, but I did completely forget about this whole Earl Hebner thing. So Borash interviews Bully Ray. Bully Ray is on guard after what happened to the Pope. He's looking around, and he said that the Aces left some playing cards on his truck, and he knows he's a target, but he says he's the baddest mofo. He just doesn't know how many of the Aces are out there. So Robbie E comes out for the next match. And he comes out alone instead of having Big Robbie T with him to do the whole list thing. And my first thought was, with all of the Aces and Eights stuff going on, now is the time you don't bring Robbie T with you to the ring. And eventually he does come out later, but it's Robbie E versus Bully versus Jeff Hardy versus James Storm in a tables match. Robbie T, like I said, does come out, and Hardy dives onto him. And Robbie E takes a bump through the table from the outside, and because he put himself through the table, it didn't count. But Bully's about to put Storm through a table, and the Aces surround the ring. And Storm hits a super kick, and the Aces give him a thumbs up. I'm serious. That is exactly what happened. They come out, Bully Ray's looking around, getting freaked out. Storm hits a super kick, and the Aces are like... And then they leave. And so Hardy attacks Storm, and I'm thinking to myself, I thought security swept the damn building. Like, what's going on here? How are these guys back? But the Aces do come back again when Hardy's about to put Storm through a table. And Bully runs in, powerbombs Hardy through the table, and then he just runs up the ramp, and then he collapses on the ramp, and he's selling an injury. And I'm wondering, why are the Aces not attacking him? They did say that they were coming for Bully Ray, which they didn't attack him at all. And this is also the last time on this pay-per-view we see the Aces and Eights. So I was kind of disappointed with that. I really expected some big finale. I mean, this is the biggest angle in TNA right now. And this was it. Like 2 segments. Them taking out Pope, which doesn't even matter. And them taking out, or not even taking anyone out, just cheering James Storm on, I guess. They were just like, yes, way to go. But, yeah, I was just wondering why they didn't just walk around the ring and beat the crap out of Bully Ray. So Borash says that they don't know where the Aces are coming from, and they have no idea where they've gone. Well, by all means, please don't follow them. I mean, they're right there, and no one is following them. Where the hell was security anyway? Were they still sweeping the building? So, Aries comes up, says he doesn't need a rematch, says he will beat Roode because he's not on A-Double's level. Kenny King versus Zema Ion for the X Division title. I thought this was a pretty good match. Another one that just, I don't know, it just felt off. It didn't really deliver like I expected, but Zema wins with his finisher, that pancake move. And then Borash is talking to Samoa Joe. Joe says he's going to seal his place tonight, and he isn't afraid of the Aces and Eights. So we get AJ versus Daniels versus Angle versus Joe in a ladder match. Now, I was kind of worried here after this Joe promo. I was thinking they're going to have the Aces lay another guy out, and this was the match I was looking forward to the most. I was really pumped up about the ladder match, and when this happened, I was like, please just let them have this match. And they did. Thankfully, nothing happened. But, there was one spot in this match where AJ throws Joe into the ropes, and then he, hits the ground so that Joe has to jump over him. And when he does this, I swear Joe is like a cartoon character flailing his arms about in the air as he jumps over AJ. It looked absolutely ridiculous. In fact, I'm probably going to watch that again. So, Angle and Joe take turns doing moves on Christopher Daniels. Joe is about to grab the points, and AJ jumps from the rope, springboards to the ladder, grabs the points, and wins the match. So AJ Styles now has 20 points. They do want to make the Bound for Glory series a little more even, so it makes sense. This was a good match. I don't want to take anything away from it. It just didn't deliver like I expected it to. I really thought this was going to be crazy, and Kurt Angle was probably going to kill himself. Thank God he didn't, because he's the last guy in there who needs to be taking crazy ladder bumps. But I still thought it was a good match. So we got Austin Aries versus Bobby Roode for the world title. Holy crap, this match with the overbooking. Oh my God. So Roode spears the ref. And then he spears Aries, but it takes too long for a new ref to get out there, so Aries kicks out. The next ref also takes a bump. Aries hits the brainbuster, and the other ref crawls over, but Roode's able to kick out. So they hit a superplex, and then they do the double pin move, where they lock each other's legs. And of course, both refs count 3. Both refs think, one thinks Roode won, one thinks Aries won. You could see this coming a mile away. And Roode tries to leave with the belt. Earl Hebner comes out. They restart the match. They wrestle around. Aries hits a dive, but accidentally hits his head on the belt or something. And he's, after all of this stuff that has happened, Aries wins with a roll-up. And I was just like, really? After all of this, these multiple ref bumps, restarting the match, it all boils down to Aries just winning with a roll-up. Now Bobby Roode actually does have a reason to say it was a fluke, because this made it look like a fluke. And that's just how it was booked. But yeah, no more aces on this show. But I did think this was a solid pay-per-view, and I did enjoy watching this one. There is some good matches on this show. So yeah, that's it. That's my review of TNA's Hardcore Justice 2012. Hope you guys liked this video. Leave your thoughts on the pay-per-view in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Bye.